What's up, y'all? It's Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, we're going to be reacting to a Kenny ranking every state's starting five. So he's going to rank them on a tier list, I believe. I'm excited because I'm from Iowa. Where does Iowa rank? I know we've got some absolute ballers like Kirk Heinrich, Kyle Korver, Nick Collison, Harrison Barnes. Like, we've got some guys, but I don't know if they compare to some other states. So I'm intrigued to see where these guys are from and where they do rank on this eventual tier list. So make sure to go smash that subscribe button on my man Kenny's channel. The link to that will be down below in the description, as will this video.
Today, we are tier ranking.
Look at it today. Look at Kenny,
the starting
man.
five of every state. Highly inspired by our friends over at Hive Mind, where they did a tier ranking of every state's signature dish or signature food. I'll put the link in the description. But I hit my guy Jonathan up and said, hey, I need you to create a document that has the starting five of players from every state.
So first, we got Alabama here. And I mean, I don't know what these asterisks mean necessarily, but
state. So starting off with Alabama, they got Jeff Malone, Gerald Wallace, George McGinnis.
I mean, this team would walk circles around the Iowa team probably, but I mean, the front court with Barkley and Ben Wallace defensively is going to be tough.
Ooh, actually, this team is pretty nice. Now,
got a lot of size.
Before we get into the comment section and we get to arguing, oh my God, he picked this player, not that player. This is strictly based on basketball reference and some stats and stuff like that. So it's not subjective opinion, it's objective, all right? And we also didn't divvy too far away from the designated position. So like a player like LeBron, who has played many positions in his career, is probably, when we get to Ohio, is going to be a small forward, a power forward, even though we've seen him play shooting guard his rookie season. We've seen him play point guard back in 2019.
That's fair.
2020. Just sit back, man. Enjoy the vibes.
Right? I am, okay? Chill, Kenny. I'm enjoying the vibes because I want to see where all these players are from.
Argument. Or do argue, but don't argue with me and Jonathan because it is what it is. Argue with each other. Alabama sneaky nice, though.
I don't know enough about Jeff Malone outside of he's in 2K. The rest of these guys obviously are, I feel like, are big enough names.
First next to the name means that they're a Hall of Famer. So they got 3 Hall of Famers. Gerald Wallace at one point had one of the biggest and most untradeable contracts in history. That should get some type of points. And Jeff Malone, I don't remember much about Jeff Malone, but I can see his face. Low key.
At least I'm not the only one that doesn't know what really, much about Jeff Malone. Kenny's with me.
Alabama might be off to a... We're going F through S tier. Bama having 3 spots to be Hall of Famers.
B
and
tier.
Gerald Wallace, who I think participated in 1 All-Star game. I'm not
Gerald Wallace was good.
I think he was a one-time All-Star. I think they start off with an A.
I think that's a little high. I'd go B tier, but we'll see.
I think they start off with an A.
Because you got to realize, like, Florida, like, California, they're going to be S tier, and then you go from there.
This team can't really shoot. But
where's
DPOY, perennial DPOY guy.
Where's the
MVP,
offense?
and then George McGinnis. That's an A. That's an A. And I said I wasn't going to Google it. I did Google it, and Gerald Wallace did indeed play in 1 All-Star game. Alaska.
Shout out Deshaun Nix, man. Shout out Deshaun Nix, man. Timberwolves. Hey, man. Shout out Deshaun Nix.
F. They got Mario Chalmers and Dyson Nix. Actually,
you don't even... That's not his name, Kenny. That's not his name.
You didn't know Dyson Nix was from...
I don't think that's how you pronounce his name. Dyson?
Alaska. Also, if I'm not mistaken, this is where people were born, not necessarily...
Kenny's making me second guess myself. I don't think that's how you pronounce his name.
Where they were raised or where they're from, if that makes sense. I think.
Whoa.
Not necessarily where they were raised or where they're from, if that makes sense. People were born, not necessarily where they were raised or where...
Because I know. Where are you from? Does that mean where you're born or where you were raised? I don't know.
From, if that makes sense.
I
think. So if you're like, man, this guy was born in Indiana, but he reps California, well, he might be on the Indiana team if he was born there. This is an F, though. From A to F. Next one, we got Arizona. And you know what?
This team sucks. Who is Mark Alari? I don't even know who that guy is. This team is D tier. This team stinks.
Arizona, for being as big of a state as it is and having some good Arizona University teams, I expected them to have a way better start.
That's what I'm saying. This team stinks.
Sean Elliott, Mark, whoever the hell, and Mark Allery. Whoa. Did Mark Allery have a daughter in the WNBA? Or did she went to like Princeton? Oh, I swear, if I'm right here, I deserve some type of pat on the back. Children, Bella Allery. She did play in the W. And
Man, Kenny is too smart for his own good. How do you know this? How do you know this? You don't only know ball for the league, NBA, you know the WNBA too? Like, what?
to Princeton. Wow. I am stupidly locked. Is she still in the W? She last played in 2021, so she has, bro, wow. I just recognized the last name and thought, I remember.
Wait, she was the 5th overall pick and she's out of the league in 1 year? How does the WNBA work?
I'm sorry.
If you're the number 5 pick, shouldn't you still be in the league? Am I wrong on that?
I remember her in college. I don't remember her much in the W. She was a 5th overall pick. Hello? I remember her in college. And I'm like, that last name is so very specific. There's no way they aren't related. And it indeed is his daughter. So shout out to Mark and Bella. But over all of this got to be like a D, right?
I'm saying this team sucks.
Like, if your best player is Marvin Bagley, or I guess Sean Elliott can count there too. Hold on. Sean Elliott or Marvin Bagley can count as the best player. Either way, no, Sean Elliott for sure. My fault, Sean Elliott. This is a D tier. Sorry. Then we get Arkansas.
Mike Conley. This team is good. This team is good. Yeah, that first team definitely was A tier. This team got to be B tier. This team good.
Mike Conley. Didn't know he's from Arkansas. Sidney Moncrief, Joe Johnson, Scottie Pippen, and Joe Barry.
This got to be B.
Yo, it's a good team. If we said this one was a D tier, this is definitely high C, low B.
It's got to be B.
Probably a B. They got Scottie and Moncrief, and they also got Uncle Mike and Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson, 7-time All-Star.
Joe Johnson was good. Mike Conley good.
And Uncle Mike is really good too. I'm putting this B tier, man. This is B tier.
Kenny knows bull, man.
You know, wow, it's so close to A tier though. Okay, wait. Compared to this team.
Compared to that team, no. That team is the real deal.
That's A tier team. This team, I mean, it's B tier. B tier. I've made my decision. It don't matter at the grand scheme of things. B tier.
It does matter. It does.
Next we got Cali.
S tier. Just S tier to move on.
Cali's S tier. It just is. And we could have 7 different teams from California, I'm sure. Jason Kidd, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Paul Pierce, Uncle Tyson Chandler. A tier. What can I say?
S tier.
I'm thinking of some people that got snubbed off the starting.
He meant S tier.
Remember,
he
didn't steer too far away to make positions match. Paul Pierce is moving up to the 4, which we've seen him play a little bit in his career. They got Jason. They got some MVP. They got some MVPs. They got some championships.
This
they got
team
some
is elite.
All NBA appearances. I mean, that's an S tier for sure. We knew Cali and we know Chicago. It's gonna be S tiers. Colorado, sneaky. Chauncey Billups.
Bob Dole. I don't know who that is. Jason. Ew. Man, I ain't gonna lie. This team's not very good.
Derek White, Jalen Williams. I guess that makes sense because Cody went to Colorado, so I guess it does make sense that he's from Colorado. Bob Dahl, never heard of him.
I was gonna say, I don't know who that is.
Jason Smith. That front court is gonna make it a little bit more difficult. I said this one was B tier, right? So this would have to be like a high. I'm already messed up.
Not even high. It's got to be C tier.
I might have to hit a mental reset because this team is probably like a low B, high C, like a C.
It's a C. It's a C. This front court is horrible, Kenny. This is a C
tier or something like that. Because that top 3 is real good. You know what I'm saying?
The front court
Williams got the
is
potential
really
to be
bad.
a lot better than what he is now. I'll probably put it a C. Let's go C tier for Colorado. Okay, Connecticut. Calvin Murphy. All right, shout out to the Short Kings out there. Michael.
This team stinks, man. This team stinks.
Adams, John Williamson. I don't know anything about John Williamson. Charles Smith might be the most generic name other than first name, last name. And then Marcus Camby, who got a DPOY. Probably also a C tier, maybe even D tier. Like
I say, this team is not good. I think the last team was better than this. Calvin Murphy helping this team a lot.
He can hold his own. Obviously, Calvin is a Hall of Famer. I don't know if I can put a team with a Hall of Famer in the D tier, but the C tier.
I would go C tier, but it's not
like
good.
Delaware. Oh, Delaware. Tough guy Dante DiVincenzo's from Delaware.
Walt Hazard?
Walt Hazard, which, whoa, what a name. What a name. Who are you? I got to Google. I'll go, that's a spoiler. I got to Google. He played in the 60s. He was a one-time All-Star. Just a great name if
he was an All-Star, I should know him. I should know who he is. I mean,
a fan.
Who is Joey Graham?
I'm going to switch my hat around 1,000 times this video. Great name if you're a guy that loves a good nickname. Like if that
This
last
team
name was in
stinks,
today's
though.
basketball and he had a handle.
This team got to be D tier, man.
This one is
I guess
Jalen Duran. I actually didn't even get down to the center. I didn't know Jalen Duran's from Delaware. It's kind of cool. Joey Graham is here. I remember Joey Graham.
Wait, AJ English? Who's that? Is that Alex English? Like, I'm so confused. That Alex English?
And AJ English does not ring a bell.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know who that is. I thought it was Alex English, but obviously not. I don't know who this is.
So this is
D tier.
This is D tier.
This team stinks.
D tier. Washington D.C. of course not a state, but you know it's its own place. It's got Kevin Durant, so that's something. They got 3 Hall of Fame.
They don't just got Kevin Durant, man. They got Austin Carr, Kermit Washington that aren't Hall of Famers. Dave being A. This team is A tier.
2 Hall of Famers and a future Hall of Famer. They also got Kermit Washington, who's
Close to
forever
S
in
tier.
NBA lore for a specific reason. They also got Austin Carr. This is actually like this might be an A tier, man.
It is A
3
tier
Hall
for
of
sure.
Famers, and then Kevin Durant has an argument to be top 10. Argument. I ain't saying he in my top 10, but argument to be top 10. That's probably an A tier. Shout out to Washington D.C. It's just one small spot of the Americas and produced this many good NBA players. Florida. Yeah, Florida's going S tier.
Look at this team, man. Gilbert, T-Mac, Vince, Amari, D-Rob. Dude.
Teal Gill, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Amari Stoudemire, David Robinson. S tier. S tier.
This team is the greatest.
Come on, man.
Let me take a sip of my coffee. Holy cow.
Getting in one day, and then Gil probably won't. His prime was a little bit too short, but he's not in the Basketball Hall of Fame, but he's in the NBA Hall of Fame for all of the crazy stuff he did, all the crazy shenanigans. So
man, Gilbert was wild, man.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Georgia.
Man, this team is good. A tier, but man, this team is good.
Oh, Georgia. Hold on. Georgia got Walt Frazier, obviously Hall of Famer.
Man.
Dwight Howard,
Dwight is so good, too.
future Hall of Famer. Josh Smith. Wow, what a name. Anthony Edwards, future Hall of Famer. Conversation? Who knows? Jaylen Brown, potentially future Hall of Famer. Like, Jaylen Brown's going to have
Jaylen Brown has been doing it in the playoffs, let me tell you.
a bunch of accolades under his belt when it's all said and done. Maybe he's never going to get an MVP, but he's going to have some all
Could get a finals MVP, though.
teams, some hopefully championships, the way his team is built. Yeah, this is okay, so comparing it to Florida, who was just our last S tier. Comparing it to Florida, it's just a little bit too young for me to put it S tier right now. We don't know what's happening.
I was gonna say, I think you got to go A tier. But if you're looking at the future, maybe.
Average career, but if it goes the way we expect it to go, I mean, yeah, S tier potential. Very, very. This will be like A plus tier. A plus tier.
It's
Hawaii,
A tier.
Serge Sabalos, and Red Roach.
Red Rocha?
F. Idaho. Wow, Idaho can put together.
No way this dude's name was Deb Smith, man. Deb Smith? Is that a girl that played basketball? What?
Full lineup. Luke Rittenau, Deb Smith, Dale Wilkinson, Charlie Black, and Steve Hayes.
This has got to be F.
Who's winning this game? Between these 5 and these 2. They're in the same tier. Match them up against each other. F. And that's mostly because I don't know 4 to 5 names on the thing.
The team stinks, and Luke Ridnour isn't good either.
I'm not doing more Googles. It's probably more of a D tier because they can at least field a real roster. F tier. Illinois.
S. This team is small, but man, they tough. S tier.
S tier. Zeke, the youngest MVP in NBA history. Dwayne Wade at the 3 is kind of crazy, but I'll take it. We'll give it an Illinois pass. Dwayne Wade, Anthony Davis, George Mikan. It's got 4 All-NBA 75 players and also the youngest MVP ever. Do we need to say more? Give us a big
S tier. This team can compete with the best of them.
S tier. Indiana. Louis Dampier, Dick Barnett, Larry Bird. Wow, Indiana, Glenn Robinson, and Zach Randolph.
I think you got to go A tier. You got to. This team is good.
A huge basketball.
This team is good
for sure.
A tier.
I didn't realize they had 3 Hall of Famers, and then Zach Randolph. This is high A, man.
That's A tier
Larry Bird
for
kind
sure.
of carries for sure, but they do have 2 other All NBA Hall of Famers. I actually didn't know Dick Barnett was in the Hall of Fame. I learned something today. It's probably A, man. This is probably A.
It's gotta
they
be
got
A.
Big Dog, Glenn Robinson, A tier, A tier. Iowa. Whoa.
Okay, Iowa got some hoopers, man. Heinrich, Keegan Murray, HB, Nick Collins, and Rafe. We got some hoopers.
Oh. Kirk Hinrich, the captain. Got a lot of love for the captain. Keegan Murray's up to the 2, even though he's like a 4. Give it a pass. Harrison Barnes.
It's Iowa. What are you going to do at the 2? What are you going to do? You going to try out Joe Wieskamp? Come on, Kenny. Give us a break.
Rafe LaFrance and Nick Hollis. This is probably
C tier.
C tier.
That's valid. I'll take it for an Iowan, man.
Even though I like a lot of the players on this team, Nick Hollis has been a one-team guy. Keegan Murray. And then also Captain Kirk Hinrich forever have a spot in my heart. I can't go too biased, so I'll keep it moving. Kansas. Wow. I don't recognize a single one of these. Oh, no.
Bro, Alvin Adams, Scott Wedman, but this team stinks, though.
No. Scott Wedman and then Alvin Adams are 2 names I recognize. Oh, Lucius Allen. Okay, I actually recognize 3 out of the 5 names here. I jumped the gun. Warren Jabali. And then
this team got to be F tier though. D tier probably. D tier because of Alvin.
Leonard Gray. I'm not familiar with y'all game. You're probably closer to a D tier team.
D tier.
Even though Alvin Adams had a few really good seasons.
Alvin Adams.
Let me double check that. Yeah, Alvin won Rookie of the Year and he was a one-time All-Star. So it's D tier.
It's D tier still.
Next, sure. Kentucky.
Oh my gosh. A tier. I'll be the one to say A tier. This team.
Though Allen Houston, Cliff Haggins, Joe Folks. I mean. Three-fifths of this lineup all played in the 50s and the 60s.
It don't matter.
Joe Folks the first NBA superstar? Isn't that like his claim to fame? Nonetheless, though, really good team,
It's
man.
A tier.
Really solid.
This team is great.
Good team. I'm putting it high B tier because Cliff Haggins and Joe Folks, I couldn't tell you anything about them other than being Hall of Famers and being.
They're Hall of Famers, though.
Probably high B tier.
Man.
Allen Houston had a torch, man. He could get buckets.
Man, this crazy.
Rajon Rondo, one of the purest.
This team will give some of the guys an S tier a run for their money. Obviously, you can't compare eras, but I'm just saying.
Playmakers of all time. Love this game. And then Dave Cohen's, obviously, you know him. High B tier. Louisiana has De'Aaron.
Oh my gosh. S tier. I don't even like Bill Russell. I think he's overrated, but S tier.
Oh, De'Aaron Fox.
S tier.
Clyde the Glide. Marquise Johnson from Cornbread Earl and Me. I'm pretty sure he played in that movie. Oh no. He played in oh my God, what movie did he play in?
This is for sure an S tier team.
I'm not Googling it either. I see it. It's the Wesley Snipes movie. Why can I not think of the name all of a sudden?
I know Karl Malone gets a lot of hate for his off. I get it, but on the court, Karl Malone was so good too.
Why did that take me so long? I need to lock. I ain't had breakfast. That's my excuse. Karl Malone and Bill Russell. This isn't.
Me neither. I'm drinking coffee.
I mean, they got Bill Russell, the biggest winner of all time. They got Clyde the Glide, who was a phenomenal in his time, and the Karl Malone we don't respect, but it's purely off the basketball aspect, amazing. And then you got the De'Aaron Fox, Clyde Drexler backcourt is highlights. And I'm pretty sure Johnson made a few All-Star appearances. I don't want to disrespect him, and maybe it was more than that. But
I think he was really solid for sure. Man,
Duncan,
this dude, Maine. This team, Maine. They might win the 3-point contest with Duncan Robinson, but that would be
Robinson and Jeff Turner. Wow. F. Duncan can shoot you into a game, though. But if they matched up against these boys, yeah. Maryland. I forgot there was 50 states.
Maryland, low-key, I don't know who Marvin Webster is, but low-key, they got some guys that can do some things. Probably C tier. I don't know. Vic in his prime was tough. C tier, though, for sure.
Maryland.
C tier.
Steve Francis, Victor Oladipo, Reggie Lewis, Jeff Green, and Marvin Webster. I don't know Marvin Webster. This is a sneaky good team, man.
It is.
No Hall of Famers. But all of these dudes has like a prime. You like, oh, man. Like Steve Franchise prime was super fun. Victor Oladipo's prime was super fun, even though it didn't last very long. Rest in peace, Reggie Lewis. Jeff Green don't catch you a body even at the age of 40. This is probably C tier, though.
It probably
is.
C
tier.
And if they had a better center, maybe B tier. But
if VO was able to stay healthy and play to that level for all of his time.
Oladipo with his prime was special.
Again, I don't like my scale. I'm just kind of here to learn the starting five of every state.
This D tier.
Massachusetts. Low-key disappointing, huh? Dana Barrios, Vinny Del Negro, Bruce Brown, Pat Connaughton, and Bill Laimbeer. Now, some places, I don't know if Massachusetts is one of these places, that if you don't have a large amount of people, we just put you in a spot, right? So Massachusetts could possibly have all guards. So that makes it so that Pat Connaughton is running the 4. Nonetheless,
Pat can play the 4, though. I tell you what, he could play the 4.
I mean, other than Bill Laimbeer
so could Bruce Brown
people and smacking people out of the air, it's not a lot going on here.
D tier.
This is a high D tier, low C tier.
That's
Michigan. Wow.
S tier.
Oh, Michigan's S tier, huh? Magic Johnson, Devin Booker,
Michigan is
George
it.
Gervin, C-Webb, and Mel Daniels, ABA legend, Pacer legend. This is an S tier, man. They got Magic.
It.
And Magic and Book as a backcourt is kind of insane. And then you got the Iceman, and then C-Webb prime, man. Don't forget about C-Webb's prime. That's an S tier city or S tier state. Minnesota. Now, Minnesota started over the last decade or so to produce a lot of stuff.
Minnesota's, yeah, they got some guys, but this team is not it.
So
C tier because of Kevin McHale.
I bet this list will be a lot better. But they got Jalen Suggs, Dick Gardmaker, Devin George, Kevin McHale, and Chet Holmgren. Probably right now in the C tier range, you know.
Kevin McHale's going
to get a lot better. C tier-ish. Yeah. Minnesota C tier. Mississippi, MISSISSIPPI. They got our guy Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. They got Monte Ellis.
This team is probably B tier, but it's pretty good.
Michigan Bullet or Mississippi Bullet. Chet Walker.
Team is pretty good.
And Al Jefferson. It's a B tier team, huh? They got the Steph Curry before Steph Curry, and then they got the dude that they decided between Steph Curry and him and Monte Ellis. Chet Walker, great. Spencer Haywood, great. I think he turned down some Nike stuff.
No, I'm saying this team is pretty good.
Great. And then Big Al Jefferson, don't forget about him making an All-NBA team. I think he made one. Probably an A tier, man. Low A tier, high B tier?
I would say B tier.
Missouri, JoJo White, Bradley Beal, yes. Yes, St. Louis, stand up. Jason Tatum, David Lee, and Ed.
I don't know, man. B tier, maybe?
Macaulay.
B tier for sure, right?
Like Macaulay Culkin.
Jason Tatum
might not even be pronounced the same or spelled the same, but that's why I see it in my brain. Wow, this is like a high A tier, man.
High A tier?
Jason Tatum.
I think he's gassing Bradley Beal, but maybe I don't give Bradley Beal enough respect. A tier is probably right.
He's a future Hall of Famer, more likely than not.
A tier is probably right.
Trajectory. JoJo White's there. Ed is there. David Lee. Don't forget about this whole video is just gonna be me saying, don't forget about random player from the 2000s. B plus or A minus.
I was gonna say I said B initially. I could see A. I don't.
Montana really fielded 5 players,
man.
The best of which
Adam Morrison,
Phil Jackson, and Adam Morrison.
College Adam Morrison, right?
Because they have produced one Hall of Famer. And he was a better coach than player, no disrespect.
It's D tier.
It's probably got to go D tier instead of F tier, but like who? Ed Kalafet, Larry next, Nebraska, Kenny Sailors, Fred Hoiberg.
This team stinks.
Bob Boozer, Chuck Gardner.
This team stinks.
Dave Hoopin? This man's last name? Oh, that's
Hoppin, man. But this team sucks.
Dang. That's just Hoppin. Imagine your last name is Hoopin, though, and you're a basketball player. This is also exposing my dyslexia quite a bit in today's video. F tier, Fred Hoiberg is there. Nevada, Greg Anthony, Ricky Davis, Troy Brown Jr., Pat Garrity.
This team stinks. This team stinks.
Ooh, you know I got a soft spot for Pat Garrity. Zach
This team stinks. I mean, they got Troy Brown Jr. I love him, but this team stinks. Wait. I thought Ricky Dave... Oh, he went to Iowa. That's what happened.
And Ricky Davis.
He went to college in Iowa. He should be on Iowa's team. You mentioned Iowa don't have a shooting guard. Well, Ricky Davis went to college in Iowa, so that should be close enough. We're Iowa.
D tier at the most.
This team's not
at the most a D tier. I ain't feeling Nevada. I'm sorry. And I'm actually surprised.
Me too.
Is JaVale McGee from Nevada? Zach Collins is JaVale McGee. Or did he just go to Nevada? I don't know. New Hampshire? Bro, New Hampshire's only produced one.
This is crazy. Imagine being one of the 50 states and you have one player that you've ever produced. And it's Matt Bonner.
Matt Bonner, S tier. New Jersey, Jalen Brunson, Rick Barry, Tommy Heisen, rest in peace. Carl Anthony Towns.
This is S tier. This is S tier.
Shaq, S tier.
100% S tier. Cat, gonna have to play with Shaq. Probably gonna be some beef there, but this S tier.
Whoa. What a team.
New Jersey's got some guys,
How do you guard this team? Now, I don't know much about the way Tommy Heisen played basketball. It was well before my time. But Shaq having the stretch Karl Anthony Towns as his foe with Jalen Brunson there as well. How do you guard S tier?
This team might be the best state. I'm not going to lie. Jalen Brunson with Shaq.
Guard this team. Rick Barry, no disrespect. I ain't even mention you like you're not a Hall of Famer. How do you guard this team? I don't know the answer to it. New Mexico. Rudy White, Roberson, Damian James, Bill Bridges, and Alex Kirk.
Isn't Alex Kirk a baseball player? Or is that Alejandro Kirk? Isn't there a Kirk that's top? I don't know, man. Whatever.
40 names I don't know. The one I do know is Roberson, who we got respect for. D tier. New York. You knew what New York had.
S tier.
Man. I see it.
Never mind. This probably the best team.
That's what I mean. Mike is from New York. but I think he claims the Carolinas for sure. This is an S tier though.
It don't matter. This team is S tier.
Wow.
Maybe the best team.
Wow. Talk about the perfect team, bro. Talk about the perfect team. They got 2 of the top 3 players of all time on their team. In my opinion. Wow. Yeah. S tier.
Who's the other one? Wilt? Like, I'm confused. You didn't.
S tier. The best team we've seen so far. Here's North Carolina.
A tier.
Yeah, man. Hey, North Carolina got it too.
A tier.
CP3.
Man, this might be S tier. This is S tier. This is S tier.
David Thompson.
Forget it. This
Lou
S tier.
Hudson, Bob McAdoo, and James Worthy. We got a lot of S tiers, man, but this is another one of them.
I'm about to say, we got to go A tier compared to the last team, but no, this is an S tier team.
That's 5 Hall of Famers.
It is.
5 of them. S tier. North Dakota, yikes. To go from Mike S tier.
Look at North
Carolina
Dakota,
S tier,
man.
and then North Dakota.
Imagine being from North. Bro, what? Doug McDermott does not claim North Dakota. What is this? Doug McDermott's from Iowa. What are we doing? Was he must have been. It must just be where they're born, man. I don't know, man. Because Doug McDermott not being from Iowa is crazy. It's crazy. What are we talking about?
Johnson, Doug McDermott.
It's crazy. Doug McDermott and Harrison Barnes were on the same high school basketball team. That's crazy.
F tier. Ohio, yeah. Gotta have another S tier.
S tier.
Gotta have another S tier.
S tier.
Steph Curry.
It would be fun to watch these S tiers play against each other. Imagine Ohio versus New York.
Did you know that Steph Curry and LeBron James was born in the same hospital? LeBron James, Jerry Lucas, and
That's
Nate
kind of
Thurman.
crazy. My girl's a nurse, man. What if she delivered like an NBA baby? Like, that would be kind of crazy and cool, but that's besides.
S tier. And we're getting a lot of S tiers out, but like, come on, bro. This collection of talent is insane. They got Honcho. They have Hondo. Honcho. Is Quavo. Oklahoma, Mark Price, John Starks, Antoine Carr, Wayman Tisdale, Blake Griffin.
But this team is pretty solid overall.
It's probably close to a C tier.
No.
Blake Griffin and John Starks is kind of interesting.
I'd go B tier. This team is way better than Iowa.
Mark Price is kind of interesting too. Probably closer to a C tier, low B tier. Yeah,
I think
C tier,
B tier.
high C tier, low B tier. Oregon, Mighty Mouse. Wow, that backcourt is so small. Mighty Mouse, Terrell Brandon, Jeremy Grant, AC Green, and then DeMontis.
Nah, this C tier.
It's not too bad though. When you compare it to like, what did I say? This one was a C tier. This team is better, right? This team
I think
better,
they're
they're still in the same tier. C.
I think they're
Pennsylvania. Wow.
Bro, what? No way Pennsylvania is this good at basketball. They've got the GOAT in Wilt Chamberlain, one of the top 5 players probably ever in Kobe. Is that wrong of me to say? Maybe top 10? I don't know. There's a lot of great players, so it's tough. Pistol, man,
wow.
This team's S tier.
Another S tier. Wilt Chamberlain has Rasheed Wallace on his team.
Wilt with Kobe?
Kobe Bryant has Paul Arizian. And then Pistol Pete Maravich is up there too. It's an S tier. What can I say? Rhode Island has not produced a lot of NBA players, but 2 of them being named Ernie is funny. F tier. Shout out to NBA 2K
this
legend
team is
Ricky
horrible.
Lito, but that's an F tier. South Carolina. Ooh, no Zion, huh?
Wait, I'm confused. They've got no Hall of Famers with this team. Where's the asterisk at? This team is A tier. It's A tier. The big ticket is tough, but it's A tier.
Or Zion not technically from South Carolina. I don't remember. John Morant, Chris Middleton, Alex English, KG, and Jermaine O'Neal. That's high A tier.
It is high A tier. I mean, this team is really good.
Bordering S tier. It's bordering S tier. Because
this team is good.
They got buckets. They got one of the greatest defensive players of all time in KG. It's bordering S tier. I'm going to give it a very, very high A tier, though.
I think nice. A tier is right.
South Dakota. Mike Miller, F tier. Next. That's not a shot at Mike Miller. It's the shot at...
look at his teammates. What are they supposed to do?
Everybody else here who... I can't pronounce your name. I have no idea of your existence. Tennessee, Big O, Penny Hardaway, Bailey Howe, probably B tier. Campy Russell, probably B tier. The center position kind of holds you a little bit. I don't know Clyde Lee. He might have been a stud, but probably B tier. What? Yeah, B tier. Texas, that's Trey Young, Jimmy.
Let's see this team again. Oscar, Penny, Campy, is B tier. Oscar and Penny backcourt is tough, though.
Probably B tier. What? Yeah, B tier.
That
Texas,
that's
Trey Young, Jimmy Butler,
A tier.
Grant Hill, LaMarcus.
This team is good.
That's really good, man.
It's an A tier.
I've given out a lot of S tier.
That's not S tier. I thought Texas would be S tier, but it's not. It's A tier.
Now I'm starting to get a little bit stingy with it. It's probably a very, very high A.
It's not S.
Jimmy Butler, Trey Young, Grant Hill.
That
LaMarcus,
is not S tier. No, you're up. No.
Okay.
No, they don't have any top 50 players of all time. How are they S tier?
I overthought it. Sorry. S tier.
No.
Utah, Byron Scott.
Is Grant Hill? Grant Hill was not that good, right?
I didn't know that.
Utah
Steve Kramer,
stinks.
Tommy Chambers, John Collins. John Collins is from Utah? I did not know that. Unless it's a different John Collins. Fred Roberts.
This team D tier.
C tier.
You want to put it in C tier? I'm not going to argue, but I don't know who Fred Roberts is.
D tier, but they got a couple buckets here. Closer to D tier, but I'm going to go low C tier. Virginia. Yeah, man. AI, Jimmy Walker, Bob Danrich, Alonzo Mourning, and Moses Malone.
Virginia. Oh, my gosh.
How do you stop those two bigs down
That's
low?
S tier.
It's got to be another S tier, bro. It's got to be another S tier. Y'all let me know of all the S tiers, which team is better. Is it just the in New York one because it got Michael Jordan
Man, New York
and
is
stuff?
so good.
Probably. But, man, there's some really good states here. Washington. It's our last state. Is there any other states that start
James Edwards ruins everything here. And I don't love Zach LaVine, but James Edwards literally ruins everything.
I failed school. Yo, John Stockton,
West Virginia,
Brandon Roy, Zach LaVine, Paolo Banchero. Now this team,
West Virginia is a state. I like what?
Pedigree.
Kenny had me double thinking.
So I'm probably putting it at a very, very high B tier.
Because James Edwards ruined
just keep it simple and say, hey, here's an A tier.
No,
you know,
B tier.
Here's an A tier.
It's not A tier.
We're talking primes. Brandon Roy, man, he might have a star by his name if he could have stayed healthy.
If
Paolo might have a star by his name when it's all
Paolo is good in year 2.
I don't know. Is that the last one? Oh, West Virginia. No, it's not. Darren Williams, Jerry West, Howard.
Gary Greger?
Dick Meehan, and Gary Greger. Probably a B tier. Darren Williams had that. Probably B tier.
Look at their point guards through small forward. That is a tough 1 through 3.
Because I don't know that front court at all. Wisconsin.
I forgot about Wisconsin. That's me.
Really flunked out of school.
Wisconsin's solid.
I forgot
though.
Wisconsin existed and Wyoming. I forgot 3 whole states existed. Devin Harris, Tyrese Halliburton, Latrell Sprewell, Karan Butler, and
B tier.
Kevon Looney. Yeah, man. It's a solid B tier team.
B tier.
No Hall of Famers.
It's just solid. A lot of solid players.
That's okay. This team can compete with a lot of different teams here, bro. Even without no Hall of Famers. Last one is Wyoming, who only have James Johnson as a person I recognize.
James Johnson being from Wyoming was not on my bingo card today. That's crazy.
So you know what that means. F tier. That is all 50 states and one place that's not even technically a state.
I think Kenny did good, though. I think he knows ball, man.
That was all over the place, but at least we got to see certain people from certain states that we didn't know. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a like.
Yep, drop a like on it and subscribe to his channel, man. Kenny knows ball. He's for real. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if y'all do it. As always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.